Greetings, brothers and sisters. Alec Baldwin settles New York City parking spot brawl lawsuit. What? Did that make any sense to you? Alec Baldwin settles New York City parking spot brawl and lawsuit. So there was a fight in 2019. You know, Alec has gone after a number of people verbally or slapped their phones out of their hands. And he punched this guy in the jaw. There was witnesses. And now the actor countersued for defamation, claiming that Jazowski lied about getting socked when Baldwin merely lightly pushed him in the melee. Both claimed surveillance video of the accident proved their interpretation of events. On Monday, they paired notified a judge in Madden Supreme Court that they settled their claims against each other. The terms of the deal were not disclosed. And this is some like 70-year-old dude, right? Some guy much smaller than Alec. And Alec, assaulted him in one way or another. At least this is what this guy claims. And it seems like he decided to pay him off, right? Alec decided to pay the guy off because Alec's got bigger legal problems and impending lawsuits that involved the illicit discharge of a handgun. The Baldwins seem to have smartened up because they're not posting anymore on Instagram and they stopped doing interviews, which isn't good for me and you guys. It's harder to mock them then. But things have gone south for them and they kind of realize that he's basically done and they're just waiting for the coroner to pronounce him dead. I also got some thing to get to about Bob Saget, some stuff about Will Smith in a second. I'll do the Bob Saget thing last. A commenter, comment to my last video. But let's get through this other stuff first here. Let's do the Will Smith stuff next. This is some Australian reporter interviewing Will Smith about his newly released movie about the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus, and their dad, King Richard, as it's called. And the handler, Will Smith's handler, cuts this reporter off. Well, you'll see it for yourself. One of my viewers sent this to me like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't got around to it.
The exploration of my childhood trauma has opened me up to...
There's his autobiography.
Understand characters and to understand...
He's still faking his stuff, right?
Stories and mental anguish and triumph. And I just feel like I'm so much better an actor now after having gone through the process of my memoir. And I was doing that at the same time as I was...
Well, you weren't great before. And now that nobody wants to cast you, right?
Filming King Richard.
Will's memoir also deep dives into his unconventional relationship with Jada.
His unconventional relationship with Jada.
Revealing candid details about their non-monogamous marriage and the moment their relationship almost fell apart.
You need to say clearly what happened.
This was great. Remember this?
I got into an entanglement with August.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
You've been so open about your relationship with Jada recently.
So this is where his handler is going to come shut this down.
What do you wish younger Will knew about marriage that you know now?
I'm very sorry, but we have to wrap the interview.
Oh, no, she just got to the good question. That's the one she was trying to ask the whole time.
You could have answered it right there. Well, you could override him. You could override him, Will, and actually answer the question.
We just got to the juicy stuff. Will, it is absolutely a pleasure.
Okay, so Will's not addressing the many, there's a big giant colossal cursor. I just have a knack for stopping. They're not addressing the many rumors that come from Hollywood and Hollywood insiders and, evidence that Will Smith is gay, right? Or at least bisexual. And, let's go to this Prince of Bel Air trailer that Will Smith put on his YouTube channel. You can get this remake of Bel Air. It's no longer the Prince of Bel Air on Peacock. You can, if you have Peacock, you can get the Peacock subscription. You can watch this wonderful TV show.
This time we'll try to make you forget who you are and where you came from.
That town's like an amnesiac. It tries to get you to forget where you're from, Will, and don't forget. He's a dunker. He knows how to dunk.
Don't let it do that.
Don't forget where you came from, Will, and don't think you ever came from Bel Air.
Damn.
Jeffrey Thompson, house manager.
He's the butler.
10 years is
That's his aunt.
a long time.
Let me show you around.
Where them dimes at?
Hillary. Let's go find
They're introducing all the characters from the old show.
you something fit for a prince.
What do you think?
I made you look.
Executive producers Will Smith and Westbrook Studios.
Yo, Uncle Phil. I'm glad you're safe. We'll talk later.
Why is Uncle Phil not obese? Come on. What's happening here?
Cousin Will. Yo, is this really baby Ashley?
You're a long way from home, Mom.
Oh, Tim. How you been?
That's Carlton? Come on. What's up with Carlton?
You know, thriving. I hope one day we can talk about why you're really here.
He got into trouble. He got thrown in jail in Philadelphia.
Do you know why I'm here from Philly?
Scrap on the bull court.
He was a big-time dunker. And one time he dunked it and hit this guy in the sidelines, and this guy didn't like it.
Got nasty.
Was it you?
And he pulled out a gun and fired it. And the cops arrested him.
Now some bad man from Philly, he want to deal with you.
Boom. This Fresh Prince of Bel Air's got street cred. It's not nearly as weird as the original one.
Boy, I moved mountains to get you here. So here's the story. Came to Bel Air for a better education. Simple.
That's simple, buddy. Just a better education.
Be patient. Give this a real chance.
We have a different set of rules here, okay? If you want to do well, just keep your head down and follow my lead.
Whoa.
You gotta follow Carlton.
Whoa. Man, you know I'm a rep West Philly wherever I go.
He's got that West Philly hat. That's a West Philly hat right there, wearing it on the side.
Yo, King, what's up, man? No love.
Look around. These are my people.
What?
From now on,
Steer clear.
It's crazy. The culture, the differences in culture here are unbelievable. From West Philly to California.
welcome to Bel Air.
What the hell is my life?
Yo, chill out, bro.
Come on, bro, chill out. Says that white California guy. That's great.
What the hell is my life?
Yo, chill out, bro.
Exactly. Chill out, bro.
Maybe Will just isn't cut out for this. Why are we working so
He's throwing his suit jacket at the lamp.
hard to save a boy who doesn't want to be saved?
How can you save a boy who just doesn't want to be saved?
Because we owe it to him.
A real man takes responsibility for his actions. A real man
He doesn't cry. Come on, he's a crier.
knows when to let go of his pride and make the most out of a second chance.
He's telling him what a real man does.
Be the Will who charmed West Philly with his talent and swag.
Let the
He
music
charmed West Philly with all his talent and his monstrous amount of swag.
diffuse all attention.
Lots of punching. Why are they punching so much in this? There was no punching in the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Was that marijuana use and gunplay? Come on, what are they doing? What are they trying to do here? Is he trying to make up for the embarrassment that was that show, that original?
Get out my face, you people so
They got real rap and not Will Smith rap. This guy's doing his dance. He still knows how to Uncle Phil still knows how to do his street cred dance here. Boom. Yeah, he did it. Look, Bel Air.
There's no going back.
Bel Air. February 13th. Catch it on Peacock. So the problem with this is Benny Medina. And I've covered this before. I've covered the quote that came from Alexis Arquette. I've read the quote where Alexis Arquette talked about how Will Smith's first wife walked in on him. He was servicing Benny Medina. Here they are together. Here they are here. Benny Medina has his hand in Will Smith's coat. And there they are, right, doing a little bit of piggyback ride. You know, all gangster stuff. I mean, look at the gangster. This is some gangster hand touching here, hand touching here, hand touching. You know, Will Smith wants to portray himself as some tough guy from Philly, right? That's his, you know, what he's built his brand on. But Benny Medina, the guy who was the real life Fresh Prince of Bel Air. So he's the guy who pitched his life story.
Me and Jeff had come out with our smash hit, Parents Just Don't Understand. We made a bunch.
So this is from Will Smith's YouTube channel.
Parents Just Don't Understand. We made a bunch of money. We won a Grammy. Album was triple platinum. I had motorcycles and cars. I called the Gucci store in Atlanta, and I was like, hey, will y'all close it down if I bring my friends? And
he had a lot of money from that wonderful song.
Smiling, but that's stupid. We released our next album, and it was like a flop.
It flopped. What are the odds of something being worse than Parents Just Don't Understand? How bad was the second album?
It was a tragedy. It went like double plastic. I had spent most of my money, like all of it. I spent all my money.
So he was broke.
And I didn't forget, but I didn't pay the IRS. In my mind, I mean, I wasn't like trying to avoid paying taxes. I was just like, oh, damn, they need their money.
That's the real gangster part, right? This is how he became the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
The IRS took all of that stuff, so I was like broke. Being famous and broke is a shitty combination.
He just swore. He's used potty mouth.
You're still famous and people recognize you, but they recognize you while you sitting next to them on the bus. And the stuff they ask you to sign on a bus, you know, like, ooh, can you sign my baby? That's a Sharpie.
Don't sign anybody's baby, Will.
I probably shouldn't just write on the baby with that. Oh, you too big to sign my baby. Well, no, I mean, you know, so I signed it.
He signed a baby. You know, he likes to keep his fans happy.
So I was like laying around and my girlfriend was like,
dude, we're not doing this. Like, you're not just going to be laying around this house all day.
Wow, he's really good at doing voices.
You going to go do something. And
I was like, what? What am I supposed to do?
Go where people is doing it.
Where people doing it?
Go to the Arsenio Hall show.
Just go stand around at the Arsenio Hall show?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Boom. This girlfriend, in quotes, air quotes.
So I went to the Arsenio Hall show and I met a dude named Benny Medina.
So this is Benny Medina.
Benny Medina is the real life Fresh Prince of Bel Air, except he actually went from Watts to Beverly Hills.
All right, so like this is where they switched the story up, right?
Same basic concept, way shorter distance. I meet Benny and he pitches me the idea for this show and I'm like, you know, I'm not an actor. I'm like, cool. And he says, hey, you know, I want you to meet Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones is producing with me.
Quincy Jones?
So I find myself at Quincy's and there's actors and artists and celebrities and politicians. It's like everybody's at Quincy's house. It's like The Wiz without the costumes. So Benny walks me in and introduced me to Quincy. I'm like, hey, Q, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man.
Wait, is that Q? He met Q. Hey, Cubies, Will Smith knows where Q.
I saw your music videos. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Tell me your rap name again. They call me the Fresh Prince. All right, good. That's what we're gonna call the show. And he handed me a screenplay for a failed Morris Day pilot. Like, I don't have the time. So I need you to
Morris Day, he was the guy with Prince, remember?
do this. I need you to go ahead, take a few minutes, take 10 minutes, study the script, and I'm gonna clear all the stuff out the living room, and we're gonna have everybody sit down in the living room. We're gonna do an audition. He had movers that could reset his furniture. I was like, this dude is real. So goes out, tells everybody, come on. And I was like, hey, Q, hold up, man, hold up.
Hold up, Q. Don't go be doing no Q stuff.
I'm not ready to do no audition. And he said, oh, all right. Well, what you need? Tell me what you need. Just set the meeting for a week and I could do it. He said, yeah, Brandon Tartikoff, the head of NBC, is out there. I'll get him to
He was awesome. He had this little peacock halo above his head.
schedule for next week. And then you know what's gonna happen? Something gonna come up and then he's gonna have to reschedule. Oh, yeah. So 3 weeks from now, Q, we can do it 3 weeks from now. I said, yeah, 3 weeks from now will be good. Or you could take 10 minutes right now and you can change your life forever. And I was like, it then.
He's doing a lot of potty mouth stuff here.
Yes, give me 10 minutes. I said yes, and I let it rip.
I Let It Rip is probably the best description of Will Smith's acting performance on the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
I got to the end, and everybody is clapping.
All right, so we've established that Benny Medina, this guy who's getting handsy with Will Smith, is the original Fresh Prince of Bel Air, right? He's the real life. This is who the story is based on. There was no Fresh Prince. He had this life-changing event where he went from Watts in California, not a great, neighborhood, and then went to the rich neighborhood of Bel Air, and then he came up with an idea for a show, brought it to Quincy Jones, and they cast Will Smith in the part. And so Benny Medina was also someone in 2004 who was he was music manager of Jennifer Lopez, and he was accused of a sexual assault on I believe a young man, like a 15-year-old kid or something like this, right? In November, actor Jason Dotley alleged that Medina tried to R him in 2008. So I don't know if he was an adult or not, but there was this sexual assault allegations, and Benny Medina is a gay man. And so the character, the concept of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air is about a gay man who went to live with his uncle in Bel Air. Will Smith, of course, he has had many rumors from people in Hollywood that he's at least bisexual. And now we have this trailer for the Fresh Prince of Bel Air where they're trying to make the character even more tough and more gangster, when actually we live in a time where, I can understand in the 80s why they would suppress and change the narrative so that the character, the Fresh Prince, would not be gay, even though the person he was based on was a gay person, right? So I understand with the prejudice of the time. But now in the age of Me Too and progressive woke culture and, just everything that's going on, there's no reason not to make this about an actual gay person, right? And maybe it is that they're not showing you in the trailer. But, there's also this idea of Will Smith, and I could see why he didn't come out earlier in his career. It would have been damaging to his career. There's real reasons for him. And I can understand that, but why now, right? And he's writing this tell-all book, and his wife came out, and they've had an open marriage and all these things. There's absolutely no reason for Will Smith not to be honest about who he is, right? And for some reason, he doesn't want to be. I mean, he's resisting this, and he even talked about in one of these, one of these YouTube videos or something he was doing, that he was just fake, and he was somebody who let me see if I can find that.
Where else?
I'm done.
And I ended up discovering a whole lot of hidden things about myself.
What you've come to understand as Will Smith, the alien annihilating MC, the bigger than life movie star,
is largely a construction, a carefully crafted and honed character designed to protect myself, to hide myself from the world.
So this is something I've talked about forever. I mean, I guess he's better than Madam Expiration Date because he's at least admitting that he's a brand and a fraud, and, you know, he's not the real Will Smith you don't know about. But he's not disclosing this one part of himself, you know, the part of, you know, that's been rumored about, and there's all these things, all this evidence supporting that he had sexual relationships with male friends and things like this. And, you know, romantic relationships, long-time relationships. While he was married to Jada and pretending that he had a regular marriage, they were faking it to the world, and he's talking about being a fake. And then he writes this book and says he's going to come clean. And it's just not there, right? Just address it. No, nobody would care at this point, right? I mean, it's 2022. There's no reason not for him to, you know, be who he actually is and admit who he is. And, you know, these aspects of himself that he's been hiding, but somehow he just won't do it. A woman claims she was virtually groped by a gang of male avatars in Metaverse, in Meta's Metaverse, report says. Like, how does that even happen? I don't even understand. I don't know what this is. One of my friends on Facebook sent this to me, but I don't know. You know? Like, you know, the metaverse isn't safe. This is, I guess, Facebook's metaverse. Then I saw this meme. If you don't know that they control both the narrative and the counter narrative, you are not awake yet. You know, something everybody should be aware of. So I went to get to the comment this person left about Bob Saget. You know, I've just gotten all these. I mean, I should have saved more of them because, you know, they probably all deserve some coverage, right? Full House fans or Full House deniers, Bob Saget deniers. One of my friends on School sent this to me. Bob Saget, checkmark at Bob Saget. I know my daughter looks exactly like me with a wig. You can stop sending me this shit. And this is the daughter in question. And the story I told in my last video where I covered Full House. So let's get to the comment in question here. I think it's here. And the person says, yet when he increased the price from $1 to $5, you laughed. Right? Let me play you the clip because this is about a horrible story that Bob Saget told about his firstborn daughter, or many people in the comedy world told about. You'll hear my explanation from this earlier video. But here is the comment. One of my viewers left this comment, and I forgot totally about this, and I covered it in multiple videos. But this is an article from a publication called The Observer, and it was from 2005. So anyways, this is about Bob Saget's foul mouth. And it goes in, they talk about his telling that joke, the aristocrats. You can hear that on, you know, somewhere on YouTube, very inappropriate joke and not funny. And then just all these horrible things he said and, you know, not funny things, gross and weird. And then it comes down to this story about one of his daughters being born. Here's his 3 daughters. So it's one of these 3 daughters. And this is really far down the article. This is a long article documenting Bob Saget's depravity. And so it says, in the comedy circles, there's a famous story about the night his first daughter was born. So I think it must be this one. She looks like the oldest. After a very difficult birth, during which Sherry Saget and her baby almost died. So this is, you know, one of those traumatic labors where both of the mother and child's life is at risk. A friend showed up to find Mr. Saget looking utterly destroyed, unshaven, unrecognizable, but holding his newborn daughter. Oh my God, Bob, she's beautiful, the friend said. And Bob Saget said, for $1, you can finger her. That was his reply. And so this is what Bob Saget thinks is funny, and some twisted inner reality that he has, that he would say something like that after this almost losing his wife and daughter, right? I mean, he's just a like gross and depraved person, right? Like this is mentally ill stuff. The story continually comes back to me, he said. And so then Bob Saget confirms this happens. This story continually comes back to me, he said, groaning. Oh boy, was I a wreck, and I was just operating on whatever sick mode I'm always in anyway. This is his sick inner world. I don't remember, but I don't think $1 is enough money for something that crosses the line that much. I would have said 5. So he's now confirming the story, but saying, his one problem with people telling the story, the thing he would like to correct, that, for something that crosses the line that much, he wouldn't have gone cheap with only $1, that he wanted 5. Like this is how sick this MNFer is, right? And I talk about extensively in the video how not funny Bob Saget is, right? And so this person, let me read the comment again. The reaction was, yet when he increased the price from $1 to $5, you laughed, calling me out like I actually think Bob Saget's funny and that my laughter is what needs to be addressed here. Like, this horrible story and all the information I presented about Bob Saget and all the information about all the things he's done, the depraved things he's done, and then John Stamos and Bob Saget's widow going out and trying to grab as much publicity and attention for themselves as possible, going on shows and, milking the funeral for everything it's worth, and all these celebrities doing so, and John Stamos coming out and saying Bob Saget seemed different and weird a month before he died. The last time I saw him, we went out to dinner, and he actually listened to us, and he cared about what we said. He didn't interrupt it. He was the Bob I wish he always was, right? After saying for the past couple of weeks that Bob Saget was a wonderful human being, right? And this person's calling me out like that's the problem, that I laughed. And the reason I laughed, which I think most people would understand, is how messed up it is. Like just how, that he would double down on this thing. And the one thing that he wants to correct is the amount of money that he would sell his newborn, that he was prostitute his newborn baby daughter for. I mean, she's literally hours old. And that he thinks $5 is, a fair price. $1 was too cheap. That's what he wants to correct in that story, right? And so that's not a joke that I'm laughing with him, right? I'm laughing at the depravity and just how weird it is and uncomfortable it is. Like, you don't understand that? Like, I'm not saying, oh, good joke, Bob. Like, that was, oh, wow, way to make something funny out of this unbelievably sick thing you said about your daughter. I mean, and this person, instead of having a problem with any of these other things I said, is like, hey, you laughed, buddy. Like calling me a hypocrite and a bad person. Like on the scale, like even if I laughed at Bob Saget's joke, which of course I didn't, that's nowhere near as bad as any of these other things, right? Which happens all the time. And I don't know if things have changed. I mean, I know that, COVID and all these other things, that are going on right now. I mean, this is the year of the dummy. But just the stupid nature of the comments. Like I don't know whether it's because I'm getting more views and I'm getting more normies coming to my channel. I don't know what it is. But, it's also to do with truthers as well. And, there's not a lot to save here. I covered this in a long video about, why it's really difficult to find the truth or search for the truth or, pursue truth on my other channel. So that's worth watching. I think that's a really good narrative, one of my better ones. I don't know. Like, how can I evaluate it? I mean, I talk about spirituality all the time and connecting to God, but I don't know, I mean, I know that works, but like if people are going in so fast in the wrong direction, like society is breaking down on a psychological and moral level. I mean, people are breaking down and, just heading towards low vibrational and just, the stupidity, the dumminess of it, right? I know that, connecting to God, doing the heartfulness system, like, if it's done right and people embrace their higher nature and connect to God, it works because people have done that. Saints have done that before. It's not something new. and people are able to rise up to a higher level of existence. But, you know, I mean, there's just not a lot to work with right now. You know, only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.